So, yeah, hello. This will be the first video in a series that I'll be doing on React Native. Um, I'll be doing a screencast where I'm building an app. Um, it's the first real app I'm going to build in React Native. I'm not an expert on that, so if you are looking for someone that knows what they're doing and and knows everything about it and want tutorials, that's not here. Um, This is more like a screencast on the principle of come and build with me. I'll be learning how React Native works throughout this screencasts, and yeah. So basically, shortly about me, I'm a university student. I'm studying interaction design. And this is just something I would be doing in my spare time. Um, I really like these kind of videos on watching people code and work things out and learning, and I thought React Native would be a good thing for me to learn, and something I really like to learn. I'm assuming you know about React Native. And I won't be going too much into depth of what it is, but basically it's just a way that you can write native code for both Android and iOS at the same time. You can have both apps in the same code base using the JavaScript core, and you will be writing in JavaScript. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing over the next however many videos we'll need to get this done. So yeah, I'm assuming I'm hoping you know how to get a React Native install. I'm not going to go through that. There's plenty of documentation on the React Native website for that. So yeah, if we just kind of dive into it. So I've set up a folder for React Native projects, and using the React Native CLI, we can start our project. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to write React Native and init, and that means we're initializing our project, starting our project, and then we're going to give it a name. So our name is going to be she, we, which means society, a community, and yeah. So we hit enter, and React Native will build our project for us. It's going to take a minute or so, but in the meantime, I'm kind of going to show you the app that I designed and that we'll be building here. It's a running app, a running community app, and if we look over here on the sign, we'll be having a login sign up screen. Those can be combined into two, something we'll figure out. And yeah, this is just a static design that I made when I first thought of the idea, just to kind of get it out of my head and write it down. So the idea is that I want to get the whole social media off the online world, off the internet, and actually get people into the real world and doing something and meeting new people and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm thinking of having like a main screen, and you'll be able to swipe right and left, and you'll get to these other views, scenes as they call it in React Native. You'll have a very basic profile that's going to be a picture, your name, and then there's going to be some preferences if you prefer running on roads or trails or both of them, an average pace that we'll be using to match you up with other people, and a radius of your home, and the radius is basically like if other people find you, and like you're going to be discoverable if people are within a 20-kilometer radius of you. So yeah, and basically what it's supposed to do is, if you go to a new place, maybe on vacation, I can use the example when I came up with it. I went on vacation in Berlin, and I mean, I've been to Berlin plenty of times, many times before. I wasn't like a avid runner. So when I was there last time, I didn't know where there's nice places to run. I basically just ran out of the Airbnb that I rented, which was in the middle of the city, and I'm not all about the city vibe and the hustle and buzz. Kind of want more nature and a nice quiet place, a beautiful place to run. But I didn't know these places, so I wanted a way to find people that do know these places, and then go for a run with them, and hoping they would show me the trails and the roads and the city, and the places that they love running. So there'll be a discover page where you, if you're within the radius that they specified, they'll show up here. Yeah, you can scroll through, look at the places, and then you can choose one and write them and say, hey, I'm in the city. You want to go for a run? Want to show me around? So there'll be a message view. I'm considering redoing that and not having messages, but using like a notification kind of thing, because I feel like the message, now that I'm thinking more about it, I feel like the message is kind of countering the idea of not having people sitting on my app and writing each other. I don't want that. I want them to just find someone, ask if they want to go for a run, and then hopefully end up going out for a run. So we might redo that into something else, but yeah, that's like the basic idea of the app, what I'll be doing. So yeah, let's go back to here. So you can see now that React Native has been installed. You can see it says if you want to run your app on iOS, you do React Native run iOS, and if you want to run it on Android, you do React Native run Android. So pretty darn simple. I will be doing for both Android and iOS at the same time, because that's the whole point. I mean, with using React Native, it's beautiful. You can do both things. So if we do React Native run iOS, and I'm going to specify a simulator. So the size of the simulator we're going to be using, I'll be using a iPhone 6s Plus, because I have an iPhone 6s Plus, and when I'm going to start building it over on my phone, I'm going to have a better idea of how it's going to look. But we'll be designing everything using flex and screen dimensions, so that we know how big your screen is, and then style everything based on that. So yeah, let's hit enter. Of course we gotta cd into the directory first, obviously, and then we can run it. So you can see it says found the Xcode project. I don't know if you want to. Let's just see here. So we have the documents. So yeah, you can see here, this is the file folder structure and file structure of React Native. We'll have the Android, here's where the native Android code lives, and this is where the native iOS code lives. And basically we'll be working in these. So when you run the run iOS, you basically compile this file, and everything that it says, it runs. And here you have for the Android. So you can see a lot of things that's going on here. And our simulator is starting. It's building all of this stuff. Here's the package manager. That's basically just Node that runs a packet manager, and that's where everything will be loaded on from, so we can actually do something really cool like reload. I'm going to show you. It's like amazing. If anyone ever done, if anyone of you ever done native iOS Swift development, or Android for that sake, you'll see and know how big of a deal this actually is. It's amazing what this can do. And how fast it makes your development cycle. So compiling this, we'll be opening our iOS app. The first compile is going to take some time, and that's also the thing. Like compared to if you would actually be doing something like, let's put it over here. This we can just put aside. We won't be needing that. That just handles itself in the background. So yeah, now you can see build succeeded. It's installing the build in the simulator, and then we'll be good to go. What I'll be doing in the first few screencasts probably is just building the layout of the app, building the different scenes, and making that look good on both iOS and Android. And then after we get everything done there, we're gonna start implementing the backend stuff that we'll be needing. I apologize for being a bit snotty. Winters are cold here in Denmark. But yeah. So we can just start doing some more stuff. So if we oh, there we go. Oh, that took a long time. There we go. If we go in, basically the way I usually have my folder structure, you can see here, this is what we have now. We have the, I just showed you before, we have the native iOS files, we have the native Android, and we'll be working in these. So what I usually do is I like so we'll have our app. I'm just making some extra directories now. So now I made a folder called app, and inside that we'll be splitting things up into components. Scenes, which is basically a screen. React Native uses the word scene for, so this is a scene, and when you pop something else on top of the navigation stack, you'll have a new scene. Yeah, those are the ones I'll be doing for now. So you can see we'll have the component scene, and if we go back, you can see we'll have the app folder there. So if we, I mean, maybe it's easier to see this. So you can see the Android. It's a native one here. We won't be looking at that right now. Maybe this was a bad idea. There's actually a lot of files in here that we don't really care about. So let's just yeah. So there's a shit ton of files that React Native uses. So let's not. That's a bad call. But yeah, okay, cool. You can see here's the app. Beautiful, simple. And as you can see, you can click Command R to reload. So that's flipping insane. So let's open this project in our code editor. I'm using Atom with the Facebook nuclide. Which makes it nice. But yeah, let's do a React Native, not all of that. Let's run the Android. We're waiting. We can build the Android. The JS server is already running. We know that. That's, of course, that's the npm server I showed you before. So yeah, here is our code. So you can now see we have the app with components, and we have the iOS file. So just to see how cool this is, let's say something here. Hello world, just because I'm completely oblivious to that shit. Very creative here. But yeah, we now go to our editor and we click Command R, and we have fucking real-time updates. Boom. Sorry for swearing. That's amazing. So it's literally as simple as that. We reload, and there we go. So just like that, we're off and going. And we'll remove this for now. We'll start it back, and we'll remove the styles here, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make in here, I'm gonna make the actual I'm gonna make the app.js, because then we can run that on both here and here. So we won't be needing any of these anymore. I'm just cleaning up the code because I mean, there's no reason to have stuff here that we won't be using. Same with this. Alright, so if we reload now, you'll see we will have nothing because, well, it's not really anything. We're not returning anything here. So what we'll be returning is app. And the same we'll be doing in the Android version. Obviously, we need to import the app from our file structure, so it knows what it is. And yeah, so you can see our main is out here. So we go up and we say app/app, and we'll obviously be doing the same over on this one. Yeah, so you can see there's nothing in the, oh god, so there's nothing in the app. It doesn't know about app because there's nothing here. So what we're going to start off is by import the things we need. Probably need a text, need a view. Yeah, let's just keep it for that right now. Oh well, we need a style sheet, but and then we'll do export default. That means we export whatever's in this class. So and we extend, if I can write, we extend the component, so we can make components in here, and we need a render function, and inside that we'll return, let's just make, for now, like, let's make a text that says hello from app. So that's it. So now if we rebuild here, you'll see we have hello from app. And yeah, basically then we don't need to go back to these files anymore. Everything will go in there automatically. So that's really nice. Yeah. So what I usually do is I make a I say usually, I've done this once before for a small project, a very small project in uni where we made a small app for a semester project. So it's I'm definitely not an expert on any of this. Just to make that very clear, I'm not an expert. If you come here for someone that was an expert, you're going to be terribly dissatisfied with what's going on in here. But yeah, I usually like making a view container. Just do that. So that's a component. We'll make a view container.js. We'll just do this for now because it's faster. Yeah. So we'll be having a view. That will have a style. Styles dot view container. We need to create styles, so const styles equals style sheet dot create. So we make a style sheet here. And then we'll have a view container. Let's give it a, so that needs a flex. So basically all layout on React Native is using flex. And this is basically like in CSS. So if you know how flex works, it's the same. Except you don't have to specify display flex because that's assumed. And another thing, everything has to be passed as a string, unless it's like a pixel value. Yeah, so we'll be starting obviously from the top. So what I'm just that's not how I do it. So what we're saying here is that we want our view container, which I'm making, that surrounds everything in every scene, and we want it to be flex. We want it to be a column, so it goes from top and downwards. We want it to start at the top and on the center, obviously, and we want all the items in it to stretch the full width of the screen. So because then we can add padding or margins on the side and stuff like that based on the device width. Yeah, just so you can see what happens, let's give it a background color of what do you say, Misty Rose, something like that. So now you can see, obviously it doesn't know what it is. We have to import it here. So import view container from if we reload, I specified something that it does not like. Align item. Oh, it's called aligned items. And well, this is great to just show you. Look at this. If you've done iOS native before, this is amazing in itself as well. Just the fact that look at how fucking useful this is. Align item is not a valid style property. Like, you don't get this useful error messages. There you go. You can see. Okay. I hope you can see. It's Mr. Rose. Let's make it something more noticeable. Dodge blue. There you go. So you can see it fills up the entire thing. We don't want a background color. We just want it to be white for now. But yeah, it will basically just contain everything, and so it will just contain all the stuff that we put in it. So this is what that says. So now you can see if we go back to the app, we have a view container and we add a text. And we reload. Yeah, you can see it's up there, and that's the problem. It's always under. So what I do is I make a new file. Let's call it status bar. Isn't that what it's called? That thing, status bar background. Jesus, I can't hit my buttons. Okay. So in here we'll be having change the famous keyboard there. We'll be having a view style status bar. Status bar background. And the height of the status bar in iOS is 20, usually, as far as I remember. So let's just give it see what happens. Give it a height of 20. And again, so you can see, well, you will see the text pop down, so we don't need to give it anything else. So yeah, that's basically all I do with that. It's going to be status bar background. Okay, so now we can here do status bar background, and we can import status bar background from components status bar background. So we go over here. View container does not exist. Didn't you just work? Oh, there we go. Obviously, I didn't know where that was. Because it was the wrong path. But now you can see the text is under, so we have the status bar up there. So yeah. That's nice. Now we can actually start doing something. So let's have some scenes here, okay? Yeah, let's start making this better. So we'll have authentication scene, which would basically be this. Pull all of that, and here we'll have the first scene to be. Let's just do authentication for now. We've been needing to obviously get the router thing. And that's in scenes. Yeah, this has to go out one. And this, Jesus. I keep clicking command 1 or 2 before I switch away from this, which means you can see if we click where is it? Hey, scale. These are the same. So I keep clicking command 1 to switch to this one, and then makes it 100%. It's just like huge and switches to my other screen. But there we go. That should do it. No? So from the app. Oh yeah, because it's in the app. Duh. So we need to go to app scenes. I'm really unable to resolve app scenes authentication. From here. Oh, because it's not one up, and it's. Wait, so why the fuck weren't you able to find that before? Sorry. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, so this is a stupid little error somewhere in my file structure that I'm just fucking up because I'm an idiot. So yeah, let's try and see if we can figure this out. I'm exporting the default. spelling. Yeah, the problem was I spelled authentication wrong. Because I'm a genius. Yeah, that's probably going to happen a few times. English isn't my native language. So I apologize for any stupid errors like that. Okay, so now we can get to the fun stuff. We'll be needing a text input. Let's go here and say, let's do it like this so you can actually see. So I'm putting all this stuff on the top. Let's go to the React Native site. We'll go to the docs and we'll be looking for, yeah, so you can see the components. These are the components that exist natively. So we can see this text input, which subscribes to an on text change event to render the user's input. Yeah, but basically we need a text input. So let's say we'll have well, we need a login. So this is the authentication. So we need a text input with a style. And we'll need another text input. One for the login and one for the sign up. Okay, so basically we'll make a constructor where we keep some information on the state that the app is currently in. These are called props. So we say this dot state is equal to, we'll have a email and a password. And then we can say, what was it? On text change, on input change, on change text. Say this dot state dot email. Well, we're gonna set state. I think it's called actually. We're gonna set the state of email to be equal to I actually think we have to make a function. Let's take the text and I put this in before we set the text there. Same we'll be doing for this one. Jesus. Except we'll be setting the password. And there is a, well, let's just do this. We'll have a value of this don't stay dot email, because then it always updates for that the value. And this will also have, I mean, we need a placeholder. And if we refer, wow, that was far away. If we refer to app, we can see we have email and password. So, and I capitalized all of them. So, and then this needs to be secure, obviously. It needs to be like dots. Let's see if there's anything. I hit the wrong button here. Secure. Secure text entry. Yeah, so that's what we want. So basically it's a boolean, so if it's true, then it obscures the text, and otherwise it's false, it's always false. So secure text entry, true. Could not find props in authentication. Of course it can't. There. Well, as you can see, that's not the way it should look. They're stacked on top of each other, which is like, duh. But okay, so it's time to give it some styles here. So I can see I only have like a border bottom. I think that's, so it's border bottom size or something like that. Let's try and find a React Native styles cheat sheet. So we want a view, border, border top, color, border. Okay, border something width. Okay, so we need, assuming it's going to be the same for the bottom. It's one, border, bottom, color. Well, I mean, assuming we're only putting one border on it, we should be able to just do border. Actually, I want to try and see what that does. Let's just set it to black. Fucking. That definitely didn't work. Oh, maybe we need to specify a height first, actually. So height is, say, 30. Oh, there we go. That's something. Okay. No? Probably my... No. Oh, sorry. Spelling. That's weird. Oh, maybe we actually have to do this. Oh. Oh. It'll make no difference. No, we did that. For some reason our border's not showing up. What if I just do border 1, border color black? That works. That's strange. Just to make sure I know. Oh. Spelling stuff. Yeah, that doesn't show up. Okay. Well, let's just say we put let's make a view with style hairline. We can make all right. I guess we'll do it like that then. Let's give it some padding. Oh, that. Well, that's kind of annoying because then I gotta apply it to this one as well. I might have to look at. Whoa, that's totally not. Padding left. No? Oh, because it's a view. Huh. I wonder if we can do margin. If that does it. Does the trick. Guess it does. Okay, cool. Whatever. I wonder if we can style the font size in a text input. Because I'm assuming it's view in some way. Let's just translate 12. Oh, okay. Maybe that's because it's a placeholder. What if I do like, okay, so this is, and then it'll just override it. So we remove the placeholder. Okay, no. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look that up. Style, placeholder, text, inputs, React. Aha! Okay. So that's supposed to be done on here. Placeholder, text, color. Black. Ah! Alright. That's better. Okay, so let's try and see this. I have an email. There's a big space here. I don't want that. So let's do, instead of this, we'll do I think there's still a bit too much space, but there's quite a lot of space. Maybe we can do something like align items bottom, something like that. Yeah, see, the spacing is just because I think it's centering them. Ah, it's called text align. Oh, okay. So we can do that on left and right. Text vertical, text align vertical. There we go. Okay, we could do that on bottom. Really? I have so many windows open. Well, that definitely didn't align it on the bottom now, did it? Oh, it might actually because, oh yeah, it's because we have a hairline view. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make the border bottom thing show up. Um, some point. That's something I can play with. But let's check this. Okay. So then again, we won't be doing like too much today because it's the first one, and there's been a long time like introducing what I'm gonna do and stuff like that, and talking about the app and setting up the project and yada 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 yada. But I'm thinking let's okay. So apparently when we try to run the Android, we get an error. And the thing is, that should work though. So that kind of sucks. So let's see. Maybe if it's something we've done here. So we'll have the where is it? Here it is. We have the app.js that runs the authentication. That runs this. So nothing should be wrong with that. That should all be fine, actually. Let's actually try running it and see what happens. Oh! I just noticed what it says. Make sure you have the Android emulator running. Well, I don't. Okay. So let's do that. The Android emulator I'm running throughout the Android Studio. Really nice platform. That's right. Android apps. Okay. It's apparently loading some other project I have right now, which I do not want it to. God damn it, now it's got to index all the files and run the... Documents. Interesting. That it shows up like that. Android. Build.grail. Okay. So now we're opening Android Studio and I'm gonna run the emulator, which is gonna take some time again because it's gonna install it on and all that shit. Remind me later, please. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. Actually, a thing we can do while we're waiting for that shit to get ready. Well, it looks like it is ready, so actually let's just start up the emulator. Let's do the 6p. Okay, so now it's running the emulator. So, actually, now that we're at it and waiting for that shit to start up anyway, let's make a GitHub repository for this. So, I mean, I think that's a good idea for your projects if you're doing stuff like this, just to keep everything nice and safe. And we won't initialize anything. We want a very empty repository. And then take this, and then okay. So firstly, we want to let's just see. Yeah. So git init, right? Let's see if the Android. Okay. So something's happening over here. You can see. Okay, so it's running the emulator. Which is really slow. Yeah, so wait. Oh. So let's try this again. See what happens. Alright, there we go. We can see it found the emulator. It's building and installing. Whew, okay. Apparently that takes some time to build that. But this is kind of interesting. Hopefully this is just gonna work for you guys. And for us. I really hope it's just gonna build it and actually just work. Because I have to admit, if something goes wrong with stuff like that, I have no idea. I'm gonna have to do a lot of googling and stuff to. Oh, all right, fetching JS bundle. Okay. We are getting stuff. It looks like it has a border radius. And how do you do this? No. That's not what I wanted. Stop. Oh, there we go. Looks like it has a border bottom. That's standard. Oh, that's something I really have to look into because I don't know how the standard works on Android and how it looks normally and how it's supposed to look. Yeah. Okay, but I mean, it runs, so it's just some styling basically. But you can see what we have now is we actually have both of these things on both iOS and Android with the same bloody code base. So yeah, that's kind of amazing. But let's finish what we're doing here. So That's not how it goes. It's git remote and so let's add. Oh yeah. Oh, I haven't made a README. I keep forgetting. Let's just quickly do something like that, and then we can do git add and add everything to them. Of course, it ignores the node modules, which is great. Let's do git status just to see. So now you can see it added all these files. So project set up successful. Created fixed basic folder structure and started implementing or designing the then authentication scene. Alright, that's good for the first command. Alright, then we're gonna do a git push. Hello, okay. I don't know what's going on with my terminal right now, but that was not good. But it worked. Anyway, I don't know really what the hell happened there, but if we go and see, we got it. So, yep, cool. Stored, saved for future references. Yeah, I think for now this is gonna conclude this first screencast. Basically just showing the app, showing what React Native can do and how easily it is done with that stuff. And yeah, the next time we can actually fully dive into it and actually get stuff working and actually get working. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day. It's getting pretty late. Still have some studying to do for lectures tomorrow, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it wasn't a lot today, but it's going to be a lot more in the future ones. But yeah, thank you.